Sit back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device.
All right, everybody, welcome out to this special Super Bowl Sunday episode show, if you will, of the Get On With It Sports Podcast. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. Radio Pete. How are you today, Mr. Radio Pete?
Doing well. Doing well. A little tired, but ready for the Super Bowl.
A little tired, myself as well, myself included. Harry is not on the show with us today. He's on assignment at the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah,
he is.
He's doing good work, and we wish him the best.
He's doing.
We don't
work.
need him, though.
No.
Honestly, let's be honest here.
Right.
He hates this show. He hates the Super Bowl version of this podcast. And will do anything to get out of it.
Yep.
So, God bless him.
Yeah. Well, this is our fourth annual one. The first 2 years we did this, we did it at noon. We've done it technically. We've done it at noon, all four of them, right? But we did it at noon Eastern time, so it was 10 a.m. for him Sunday morning after a Saturday night in Denver. And as you know, he's involved to some extent in the nightlife of Denver, right?
Yeah.
So it was always him, you know.
It's not like the music scene shuts down at 11:30 and everyone goes home.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. So last year
he said, let's push it back 2 hours, and he's like, that's great. And then he went, nah, I changed my mind.
Well, last year we did it at noon. Last year we did it at noon Mountain Time instead of Eastern Time. So it was 2 Eastern Time. So
right.
And it was still a little, whatever. But today, and it wasn't. Yes, you're right. He hates the show, but what he is doing, not so much an excuse.
No.
Right.
I'm joking about it. That's definitely a valid reason and an appropriate.
It's a valid
priority.
reason.
I mean, there's really not too many things that this show you would go, oh no, I got to do that first.
I got to do that first. Right.
This is very low on the priority list.
Way low down on the totem pole there. So.
Yeah. I think next year we should do it at halftime.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
I think we should just come on at halftime, give our impressions.
What we could do is we can get we could take a survey of our listener
watcher
of our watcher
viewer.
We call up Dave and ask him. No, anyway, but we'll find out if they if that particular Super Bowl halftime show is something that's of interest to them, or if they'd rather just tune into us for half an hour and then go back to the the third quarter.
Yeah, we'd probably lose in the ratings to the Super Bowl halftime show.
I would say overall we would, but not necessarily for our, for our viewer.
Within our mentally deranged viewership.
Exactly.
It goes, Usher, never heard of him. I'm watching Get On With It during the halftime.
Exactly.
All right, please, Get On With It is on.
I think what we should do
is turn that music down.
Turn Usher down. But what should we call it? What we should do is we should talk to whoever is televising the Super Bowl, whatever channel is televising the Super Bowl next year, and have them have an AB. Have them have an option. You can watch the Super Bowl halftime show or tune in live to get on with it.
Like the Manning brothers, the Manning podcast.
Like ESPN and ESPN too. So it'd be
Sure. We'd be on the Ocho.
We'd be on the Ocho, exactly. Works for me. We can do that.
Yes.
Done. We've made it.
Yeah, one step up from the Nueve. So
exactly. We're inching closer to up the line there. So anyway. All right. Well, it is, like I said, it is the Super Bowl special show that we do here, fourth annual one we've done. Do you should we start with some points of interest, or do you want to jump right into the prop bets that we did the other night, or what do you
I have no idea. There's one thing that's actually not Super Bowl related that I want to talk about today.
Throw it up.
But just because we won't be live for another couple of weeks, and I mean we could talk about it then, But either way, but other than that, I have no idea what we're going to talk about.
Well, I have a couple of things, so we can.
All right, so
the standard stuff,
So go ahead. I like to save my weird stuff for the end.
Let's save it for the end. There you go. All right, so we'll start off with. Are you going out for the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Not sure yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Undecided.
We might be just staying in.
Okay.
Last year was a little more of a stay in. There were a couple of events that we would normally gather and with friends or family. We might be staying home today.
Fair enough. Yeah, we're going to Neighbors around the corner. We've done that for the last 4 years now. In fact, that's where we've gone. Every year we've done this Super Bowl special show. We've gone to the neighbor's house afterwards. So same neighbor.
Right.
So it's a good party. I made my chili this morning.
Of course
I did. Took a nice
now, have you ever Kevin Maloned it with the chili? Did you ever drop the chili on the way in somewhere?
Kevin Malone. I was like, what do you mean? Oh, that's right. No, actually have not. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah. Now, do you bring the big pot, or do you?
No, I cook it in my big stock pot. I cook it in my big chili pot, right? And which has become my chili pot. Actually, that's my pot. Jess rarely uses it. It's mainly for my chili. Anytime I make chili, or when I make sauce. When I make,
right,
gravy, Sunday gravy, right? Sauce.
It's the big pot.
The big pot. Jess used to use that for soup. Whenever she made a big pot of soup or whatever, and so that was in there. But I've bought her a couple of bigger, nicer, if you will, because this is just your standard, aluminum pot. Nicer pots for making soup. So she uses those, and I use this one. I'm not going to put it up on the screen, but I'll just do it on my phone. Took a picture of the. There we go. So that's my chili. There we go. And I'll say it. It's my, this is my standard beef chili, but there's a lot of beef in it. Red kidney beans, peppers, onions, all the seasonings, tomato paste. There's olive oil, put garlic in there. But my secret ingredient is I put in with all the beef, and I don't take away from the beef because I put this in there. I just add to it as far as meat goes. I put a pound of ground Italian sweet sausage in there with.
Oh yeah, nice, very nice. I would go hot sausage in that.
I would too, but a lot of the people that we're going to don't eat hot.
Yeah, you're cooking for a crowd. You got to take those of the weaker stomach into account.
I can eat both. They don't want to. So how about it?
And it's funny. We stopped at on the way back last night. We stopped at a restaurant because it took us like an hour and a half to figure out where we were going to eat.
Right.
We figured, we'll just drive until we're going to stop, and then we'll eat something there. But we really weren't planning on stopping for the night until like midnight or so. We're like, well, nothing's going to be open at midnight. And we passed by all of these, for those of you that are just joining us, drove back from Cincinnati yesterday. But we didn't leave there till about 4:00. So anyway, so there's all these little mini cities as we drive through Pennsylvania. We were on the southern route.
Sure.
76 or whatever.
76, yeah.
So there's like these little mini cities, but it's all fast food joints and some gas stations and a hotel and this and that. So we were looking for there's got to be like one, mom and pop restaurant or, a Chinese place or whatever. Nothing, all chains. So we ended up finding an Italian place, and we went there. And it was not a chain, and we got peppers, red peppers, spicy wax peppers, I think they were, stuffed with sausage and stuff.
Interesting.
And we all like really spicy food, so we, like on the menu it says not for the faint of heart, and we're like, yeah. Not a lot of kick to it.
Not so much.
No. But that's true of just about everything. But I totally understand, like, if we're having the family get together,
right?
With my wife's family, and there's a lot of people there, and we're making something. We can't make it as even half as spicy as we would eat it,
Sure, of course.
because there's people who just think, oh, they, and we want them to be able to enjoy. Like one year we got Indian food
Okay.
for I think it was my son's birthday.
Okay.
So we got, a big tray of aloo palak and, some tikka and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, how spicy do you want it? We're like, what's your lowest level of spice? Go about half.
Go about half of that. Yeah.
About half of that.
Yeah.
Except for we got, like one vindaloo that was scorching. So
Yeah. Sure.
But yeah, so that sounds good.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really, I have made a big batch of this particular chili once, where once it was in, before I would add the sausage, where I took maybe 2.5 ladles out and put in a smaller pot, and I had I did the whole pound of sweet Italian sausage meat, but
Right.
I had bought I bought a pack of Italian hot sausage, right? So
Right,
I just get the ground sausage meat for that. I don't, why am I cutting up the casings or whatever? I'm not cutting the sausage up. I'm just using the meat anyway. So I just get the ground sausage meat. But
But by the way, if you're interested in us talking about football, you've got about 20 minutes before we're done with football. I'm just warning you right now.
We're on the Super Bowl foods right now. So
yeah, I got a bunch of questions. So I'm sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So anyway, but I bought it. I did this once. I bought a pack of hot Italian sausage, and I took, and just like 6 in there, right? So
Right.
I took 2 out. I froze the other 4 for me to have, on the grill at some point, whatever. And then I cut open the sausage meat and just, fried up the hot Italian sausage, and put it in that small separate pot just for me. And on the side,
Yeah, right.
just
A little spicy.
spicy.
All right. So many questions. When you're cooking the pasta and you're making a sausage,
Mhm.
do you chop it and cook it? Do you skin it and take out the insides and cook it and then add it to the sauce?
Mhm.
Or if you're just making it like you're not making a big pot of sauce, or you've made the sauce, let's say, already,
Right.
and you're gonna have, do you make the sauce with the sausage in it? So do you skin it and do it that way? Do you cut it and then do it that way, or do you like bake the sausage and then add it in later? What is your preferred method?
Sausage wise, this goes for any meat with sauce. I grew up doing it this way. Like this is how my mom did it. This is how the family did it. So I do it the same way.
Right.
Meat is out of the sauce. There's no meat in the sauce. The sauce is the sauce. So if there's meatballs on the side. So you put your pasta down, you put your meatballs, you pour the sauce over everything. So sausage, same thing. Don't cut it up. We just make the whole. Well, I make my sausage. I parboil it. Like if it's a whole sausage, I parboil it.
Right.
Then I either, if I don't need it for a while, I'm just going to throw it in the oven. I'll keep turning them back and forth. If not, if I need it pretty much right away, I'll put them on a frying pan and grill it that way. Or if it's warmer out, I'll go outside, fire up the grill, and grill it that way. But I parboil it first, so it's quicker to cook. So I'm not cooking raw sausage. Yeah, it takes forever that way. So, but yeah, and then it's on the plate: pasta, whole sausages, and the sauce.
See, that's the way I like it.
Yeah, I like
it. Sometimes Donna will make meatballs and she'll put them in the sauce, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then I'll get some frozen meatballs. I know, sacrilege, but if we're having a like 2 or 3 days where we're all going to be running around and very busy and no one's going to have time to cook, then I'll make like a big. I don't make the sauce; it's a bunch of jars. This is all fast prep, and then the 80 pack of frozen meatballs,
right?
And we'll heat that all up and then make pasta, and then anyone can just eat it over the course of the next 3 days.
Right.
But we always used to skin the sausage and throw it in the pot and kind of cook it up, and then add the sauce to that, and then add that to the pasta. I have taken to, in the last year or so, just I like baking the sausage or cooking them on the grill, but usually just baking them. And I like that best. I like when it's separate too.
Yeah.
Then you can have as much or as little.
Right.
Because when you're like ladling sauce that has meat already in it, like you want to leave some for your family, but you kind of feel guilty, like if you're scooping out a little bit of the, like you get you just kind of, I'm doing it randomly, and you get a scoop that has or a ladle that has a lot of meat in it, and you're like, yes.
Right.
But that always gets down to the point where there's sauce left, but there's no more meat.
Right. Exactly.
And then you're like, oh well, I get, or there's just a little bit. Like, I better leave that for so and so.
Right. It makes it fair. It makes it fair.
Right. Keep it separated. I can, grab my 2 sausages. Everybody can have whatever they want.
Exactly.
I think that's the way to go.
Yes.
That's the way. All right. Now, next question.
Mm-hmm.
What other than hot sausage would you add to your chili to give it heat?
Well, I put a little extra cayenne. I put cayenne, I put garlic powder, I put a little bit of smoked paprika, I put chili powder, I put cumin.
Okay.
The usuals, the chili spices, right? And I have my blend that I do and how much of each I put in to make it, right? But if I want it hotter and I'm not putting hot sausage in, I add more cayenne. Sometimes, depending on who's going to be eating it, sometimes I'll put in red pepper flakes.
Yeah, if I'm making it just for the family, cumin, chili powder, cayenne, and some red pepper flakes. Yeah, those are the big.
Right.
Or I have we got many years ago. One time I was coming home from wherever, I think going to see my dad in North Carolina, and I had a layover in the Baltimore airport, and they had a Pepper Palace kiosk there. So I went, and the guy gave me a little sample of this stuff that comes in a little canister shaped like a shotgun shell. And it's just like, it's super hot peppers, and they dump a boatload of capsaicin in there. And, like he just dipped a toothpick into it, and like I could feel it just burning all
the way down.
And like I had to go, I would get something to, get some water, and because it was just too. So I bought the little thing there, and it's a novelty,
right?
Like you wouldn't really dip a chip in it or anything if
of course
you're having it, but you could take like the tiniest little, like if you had a stirring stick, not the round one, but like the flat paddle or whatever,
right?
You kind of dip it in there and then dip it into a pot of something, and
just a little bit of it. A little goes a long way when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, like you'd never want to eat it straight, other than some sort of stupid dare or whatever. But
there used to be I forget where it was, in North Jersey. There used to be a little out west. There used to be a wing place, and they had so many different flavors you can have on your wings, right? And you picked what you wanted. They made all the wings, but they tossed the wings, same wings, but they tossed the wings in different sauces. But what they did was they had the flavorings, all different flavorings. None of them were hot. You picked the flavoring you wanted, and then you picked the level of heat you wanted. And they actually put pure capsaicin in whatever flavoring you want. So if it was, X amount of wings, they had the math, right? How much, whatever they put in. So you wanted this level, so you could have any flavor you want at any.
Oh, that's a pretty good idea. Yeah, that's a really good idea.
It was actually pretty cool. Yeah, let's see. I think they're still there, but I haven't been there in, it's got to be 10 years, or more. But it was pretty neat idea. It was the only place I ever heard that actually did that. It was pretty cool. So, but
excellent.
One other point I actually was going to say, you had other questions about that, or?
I think that was about it.
My other thing I was going to say is the chilies. I actually make 2 other chilies. This is my standard Super Bowl. This chili I made today is my standard first opening weekend, opening Super Bowl, opening Sunday, first Sunday of football, right? And Super Bowl. I make this chili then. But throughout the season, I make a couple others. I have a green chili, so it's all green.
Right.
There's a lot of cilantro and tomatillos and chicken broth and. But it's actually really good. Taste.
Well, just the cilantro. I'm not a fan of cilantro.
Well, a lot of people are. I mean, you have that gene that you taste soap when you eat cilantro, then you're not going to like it, right? So, but there's pork and chicken in that, and then I also make a brisket chili that I put bacon and jalapenos in.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's pretty tasty too.
That sounds good.
I've never actually thought about this. I was having this conversation last night. I've never actually made my regular chili with the bacon and jalapenos. I only do it with the brisket for some reason.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think you need to mix those houses together.
No.
Well, speaking of chili, which we have been,
Okay.
so I was just in Cincinnati.
Yes. How did
We
you?
didn't have any chili.
You didn't.
No, because here's what happened.
Okay.
We were set to leave Friday morning.
Good.
We had some problem with the car. We got in the car, got on the highway, and had a sticky caliper, frozen caliper.
Okay.
So we turned around, came back, went to the garage, got everything diagnosed, trying to figure out what to do. We decided not to fix it, so we were going to rent a car and get on the road. So that put us behind.
Right.
Instead of leaving at 7 or 8 o'clock, we were leaving at like 1 in the afternoon.
Oh, geez, yeah, far behind. Huh? That's
Yeah.
that's a 9-hour ride to Cincy too.
Yeah, so we didn't get there until midnight, basically.
Yeah.
And we had made sandwiches and stuff, so that's basically what we ate.
9-hour ride from here. So for you with the traffic, yeah, it's probably 10.5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. So and then yesterday was the interview.
Right.
So we got up, had breakfast in the hotel, and he had the interview.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife and Peter went to the interview.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go because there was really nothing. I'm not walking around the campus. I don't need a campus tour or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
But they're having 2 sporting events. This is at the University of Cincinnati, and like 2 musical events. So 1 million people were going there, and they were charging for parking.
Yeah.
So you couldn't get on campus and park anywhere without paying $10 or 15 or whatever it was. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to go on campus and pay parking. And so I dropped them off, and then I drove around, checking out the city and stuff. I should have just gone and gotten some chili.
Yeah, there's a couple of
But
places.
I thought we might get some afterwards, because his interview was at like 2 o'clock or 2:30, and then I thought, oh, maybe we'll have a bite to eat, and then we'll, head home for the first leg of the journey and all that. I should have, because we got in the car and we left, and then we did not stop for Cincinnati chili while we were in Cincinnati.
That's
missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. Yeah, they're trying to. What's the name of the main place? Which I actually have not been to. I've gone to the other one. Hold on, I'm trying to find it here. It's the main drag going up. Is it Vine? Yeah, it's Vine. It's Skyline Chili. Skyline Chili.
Okay.
So that's like there's like 97 locations of Skyline Chili in the greater Cincinnati area, right?
Yeah, I think I drove past a couple of them. Yeah, because I mean, we were really we didn't get to, like, I guess the downtown area with all the nice restaurants and stuff. I just kind of drove around the area where the school was, which was a little more run down. So, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I made it once a few years ago. So maybe I'll make some.
Yeah, it's just there's some different spicing in it. There's like, what's that, like nutmeg or
yeah, and it's got the chocolate in it.
Right, there's a little bit of chocolate in it.
The baker's chocolate, and then you just eat it over spaghetti. So.
Spaghetti, and then you got the chili, and then you have onions, and then cheese.
Oh yeah,
right.
That was the other thing I want to ask you. Sometimes we go to my wife's sister's house for the Super Bowl, and her husband is a chef professionally, and he makes chili, and it's really good. And they like to put lots of stuff on their chili. They have onions, they have jalapenos, they have sour cream, they have corn, they have rice, or Chinese, and they put like all this shit, avocado and stuff, like in and on their chili. I'm like, what are you doing? You can't put all that stuff on there. You don't even taste the chili anymore. So I was wondering if you have like a little anything other than like a shredded cheese or whatever, like taco cheese or whatever they put, or cheddar, even
Right.
just shredded cheddar. Like, do you have stuff that you put on top after the chili is in the bowl?
I generally myself don't put anything on it. I take a couple liters of chili in the bowl.
Not even a little like sour cream.
Nothing. I'm eating my
Nothing.
chili. I want to taste the chili I made. Right.
Yeah.
And then if I'm eating somebody else's chili, I want to taste the chili they made. Right. However, depending on the company that's in, if I'm just making it for here and there's a couple people, like say my father's coming down or whatever,
Right.
then that's all I'm doing. But if we're going over like today, I'm bringing over some shredded cheese and some sour cream, and it's on the side. So anybody,
Yeah, right. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
They
if
have
you want,
like
and there's
they have
so-
like 10 different things on the side that you can put on,
right.
and I never quite understood that.
Yeah, I don't like the Cincinnati chili, for instance. Like they put the cheese and they put all the onions. That's one of the ways,
Right.
one of the
Right.
2-way, 3-way, 4-way, whatever. Whatchamacallit. I put so many onions in my chili. You don't need to put onions on the chili because if you put onions in that chili, you're gonna mix it in. There's already plenty of onions in there. You don't need it.
Right.
The Cincinnati chili doesn't have onions in it, so that's why they, so that's one.
Right. Yeah,
you know, so-
that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
I'm always like, well, like, don't you want to just eat it and
Right.
see, like, if you go, oh, maybe it could use a few extra onions, or like I could see putting a little bit of like cheddar,
Mhm.
some shredded cheddar on it,
Right.
that okay, and a little bit of sour cream,
Mhm.
probably not both, but one or the other. I can see
Right.
that, but like avocado, or like I said, and then rice. They put rice in the bowl.
Yeah, I've
And
seen people do that.
I know
It's-
you're Chinese, but you put rice in.
They put the rice
chili.
and put the chili over the rice. They ladle the chili over the rice.
It's just not right.
Yeah. So, but that's to each his own. So,
Yeah, I guess that's the way it is. All right, I think that was all I had about the question.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Chili wise, yeah. I mean, So what are your, I was going to ask, what are your top 5 Super Bowl foods, or football in general foods, but specifically for today, obviously Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, if I don't have to be involved in the making of them,
in the prep work, right? If I can show up and eat,
if someone's just going to bring me plates of food,
right?
Then it's wings.
Of course.
Nachos.
In no particular order, just your top 5.
Yeah, wings, nachos.
Mhm.
Sometimes the assorted horse duvers, like the pigs in the blankets, or
Sure.
the little mini quiche, or the
Right.
whatever.
The puffs. and all, yeah.
But like those are. It's interesting, like something like that. Like my wife will make pigs in blankets,
Mhm.
and I'll be like, "Why don't you just let's go to Costco and get the 100-piece
Mhm.
thing that you throw in the oven, and
Right.
because they're not. It's a pig in a blanket. It's not supposed to be gourmet. Like
Right.
to me, it doesn't matter if it's a crappy frozen one or if it's homemade.
In a pinch. Go ahead. I'll tell you that. I'll finish.
I'm dipping it in mustard anyway. So
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes those are good. Wings, nachos, of course, chili. We're used to eating chili. I guess those are really the big ones.
Gotcha.
And then maybe look, if I was having it catered and I was having people over, I would get wings, I would get nachos, I would get a big sandwich,
Mhm.
because I'm a big fan of the big sandwich.
Right.
Maybe get a a nice 3 or 4 footer.
Sure.
And then I would make chili.
Mhm.
And that would probably be chips and dips and crudité, of course.
Yeah, I mean that's the given. I'm
Those are
like
standard.
I'll even give those as honorable mentions because I mean chips with onion dip, pretzels, maybe some cut up cheese and crudité or whatever. Yeah, that's there.
Yeah, little cheese and crackers and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, wings, nachos.
Yeah.
Assorted hors d'oeuvres.
I agree. In no particular order: wings, chili, pigs in a blanket. More on that in a second. The sandwich, as you said, and nachos. So we're on par with each other with those. As far as the pigs in a blanket goes, I agree with you. Depending on the situation, go to Costco, grab the 100-pack, throw it in the oven, and call it a day, right? But I actually like, I'm partial to Thuman's hot dogs, and Thuman's actually makes little cocktail franks. So the big Thuman's hot dogs you get for the grill that pop up, it's the same basic hot dog. It's just a little cocktail frank.
Just a little one.
They taste so much better than those tiny little, whatever they are, the super,
the ones that are made out of lips and hooves.
Yeah, super garlicky lips and hooves, and they're mixed together and grounded. So they're actually really good hot dogs in a little form. And then you get the good like Pillsbury Crescent dough, and you wrap your own. It takes a while. It's a pain in the neck, but they taste better, and they're a little bigger too. They're instead of those little ones, you're basically you can actually take 2 bites of these, as opposed to just popping one whole of the other.
Yeah,
so
like
you get 100, it's like 50 of the others.
Right. My wife makes them and all that. And they're better, they're bigger. If that's sort of like a standalone,
right,
then you would want to go that way, depending on how many people.
Right.
Like if you got a bunch of people over, like, oh geez, I'm not making like
if there's
100 pigs.
If there's like a 30-person party, I'm not making pigs in a blanket by hand. No, I'm getting those. And then like you said, then you get them at the bigger trays. You get 180 hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
Houduvers.
And then because if you have a plate of pigs in the blankets, you're going to eat a bunch of them.
Right.
If you have this big tray of assorted stuff, you're going to eat a couple, and then you're going to eat a couple of those other things, and a couple of the shrimp puffs, and a couple of so.
Right.
But yeah, they're better homemade, no question.
Yeah. Gotcha. I'm gonna bring this up. Somebody sent this earlier today in one of the groups I'm in. Dave Campanelli's actually watched the show a few times, friend. Joe Madden Sports on X posted this. It said, and the caption was, "This is mind-blowing." So I'm going to read you this. I didn't put it up on the thing, but I'll read this to you. Here we go. 2020 versus 2024. This is as of yesterday. They should put it up last night or this morning or whatever, but this is like within hours. Okay. 2020, Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl. 2024, Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl. 2020, Lamar Jackson wins MVP. 2024, Lamar Jackson wins MVP. 2020, Ravens win AFC North. 2024, Ravens win AFC North. 2020, Texans win AFC South with 10 wins. 2024, Texans win AFC South with 10 wins. 2020, Chiefs win AFC West. 2024, Chiefs win AFC West. I'll just say 20 and 24 like that. So it's 20.
Chargers. Or you can just say all the things that are the same.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Both. All right. Both years, Chiefs win AFC. Chiefs win AFC West. Chargers are last in AFC West both years. Washington last in NFC East with 13 losses both years.
That's not that hard to believe.
It's not, of course.
That's not coincidence.
That's not a coincidence.
They're lousy.
Panthers last in NFC South both years. 49ers win NFC West both years. Cardinals last in NFC West both years. Chiefs are the home team in the Super Bowl both years. 49ers are the number 1 seed in the NFC both years. Billie Eilish wins Song of the Year both years. Chiefs plus 600 preseason odds to win Super Bowl both years. 49ers beat the Packers in the playoffs both years. Most years, but both. Yeah. Anyway, Bruins and Maple Leafs finish in top 5 in East in 2020. They are both currently in the top 5 in East this year. Avalanche finished second in West in 2020. Avalanche are currently second in the West in 2024. Celtics and Bucks both finished in the top 3 in the East in 2020. They are both currently in the top 3 in the East in 2024. The Nuggets finished third in the West in 2020. They are currently in third in West in 2024. The number one seed wins the college football playoff in 2020 and 2024. 2 undefeated teams played in the college football playoffs both years. Loser of the college football playoffs lost by 3 scores both years. Joel Embiid had season-ending surgery in 2020. He's also season-ending surgery in 2024.
Is that official?
Well, you would assume a major surgery. It's listed as major surgery. Yeah, just
okay.
major surgery on his hand, on his left hand in 2020, on his left knee in 2024. Panthers fire Ron Rivera after a loss mid-season in 2020. Commanders fire Ron Rivera after a loss in 2024.
Well,
winner,
listen, Ron Rivera getting fired. That's
right.
That shouldn't be a surprise either.
Well, there we are back to the Commanders, right?
Yeah.
And winner of the Citrus Bowl scores 35 points both years. So lots of similarities. The last thing, they're hoping that what happened in March in 2020 doesn't happen in March in 2024. So
yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah, hopefully not.
That'll be nice if that does not.
It would be very nice. And if it does, hopefully it doesn't. But if it does, we'll have to start a third podcast. So, because we won't be doing much anything else. So either that or we'll do a daily Get On With It Sports.
Yeah, we'll do 20 minutes a day. So the Chiefs are going to win, is what you're saying?
I hope not.
Well, I don't think I even need to watch now.
This is true. And we had a comment here.
I may make some pigs and blankets and not watch the game.
Look who we have a comment from. Harry chiming in. Enough with the hockey.
Right.
So we did talk about the Nuggets, Harry.
Yeah, really. We got to. This is one of the most comprehensive encompassing podcasts we've done in months.
Exactly, and it's specifically just supposed to be Super Bowl.
Well, we've talked about 3 of the 4 major sports.
This is true. So speaking about baseball, no, I'm only kidding.
All right, so let's put our picks up.
Let's put our picks up and talk some. Let's talk some prop bets. Let's talk some Super Bowl here. Half an hour into this, we should put them up. Here we go. This is what we did the other day. You take it away, Pete.
All right. So here's the story. John's down by 6 to Harry.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either going to be Harry, John, and then either me or the coin, mm-hmm. or Harry and John are going to be co-champions.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll be me or the coin. So 6 points on the line every week, as we've done all season. John's got the old 49ers. Harry's got the Chiefs. So if John wins, they end up tied. For me and the coin, I'm down by 5. I can't believe I'm going to lose to the coin.
Yeah.
I also have the Chiefs. The coin has the 49ers. So the coin wins. The coin wins. If I win, I win either second or third, depending on what you guys do.
Gotcha.
For you two, since you could end up tied, total points there, we got 59. Harry's got 58. I got 48, and the coin picked 32. Not that it matters. We don't need a tiebreaker.
Your audio's going in and out.
Audio's going in and out?
Oh, yeah, no, you're on completely, but it's just like muffled from time to time. So.
Oh, muffled. All right.
Oh, you're better. You're back.
I'll speak up then. So that's our first tiebreaker is the total points, and that I guess would be the only tiebreaker we need.
It's going to be the only one because the way we did it, I said 59 points, and Harry said 58 points. Did I say 59 or 58? Harry said 57.
No, you said 59.
I did say 59.
Yep.
Right,
yep. So we've got that. So that'll determine determine the champion in the event of a tie. So we won't actually have a tie. That's right.
There's no way we can have a tie, because there's no. Yeah, it's.
So one of you two will be 1 and 2, and then the coin and I will be 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes.
There you go.
So we also did some prop bets. The coin toss. Everyone picked heads except for me. I think it's going to be tails. Mm-hmm. First touchdown, you and the coin, like Mr. McCaffrey. Harry took Ferdy Pacheco.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got Mr. Kelsey. Longest touchdown play. You and Harry both like the Chiefs. Me and the coin like the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be a 2-point conversion try? Harry said yes. Everyone else said no.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling he's going to be right on that one, actually. Thinking about that over the past couple of days.
I don't know. Something tells me, like I said, for some reason, this is why back to the point. I was thinking in my mind that the final score is going to be 49. I picked the 49ers, obviously. 49ers 31, Chiefs 27. And that would be 58 points. So why did I pick 59? That doesn't make sense, but yeah.
I don't know. Well, you had to decide. Well, Harry took 58, so you had to say, well, is that going to be? Is it going to be more or less?
Maybe I went that way. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. So
yeah.
So all right, continue.
This is an interesting one. Number of people throwing a pass in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You took 3. Harry took 2, so he would assume that would just be the quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I took 3. The coin went 4. So, the coin is now that does not include laterals. If there's like a California play at the end of the game, that's just legitimate forward passes.
Yeah, I think there'll be one. I think there'll be one gadget play.
Yeah, apparently the coin thinks there will be 2.
There you
go. So, last play of the game, I think it's going to be an actual play. Everybody else picked a kneel down.
Mm-hmm.
MVP, you like McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
Harry likes Mr. Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
I took George Kittle in a wild card, and the coin went with Deebo Samuel.
There you go.
Who has had an extra week to be healthy and might make it to the start of the 4th before getting injured.
There you go.
But could still end up being the MVP.
There you go. Which, yeah, exactly. So,
and,
which proves exactly to your pick for the Super Bowl. You went with the Chiefs because the coin has the 49ers, and that would be the only way you could jump ahead of the coin is to pick the opposite team.
Right.
And but you're still picking Kittle as the MVP. So if in the event you lose to the coin, you still could win that prop bet.
I could, yes. As long as I win that one, I'll feel good.
There you go.
I won't be permanently scarred.
You'll be it cushions the blow.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the last one we have here is how many times the camera cuts to Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
You went with 14. Harry went with 8.
Yep.
I took 12. The coin took 13. So it'll probably be like 19.
19. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I think I think that I win that prop bet hands down because it's going to be well more than 14, and I got the highest ones.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be close.
I think I'm safe on that one.
Well, you know, I think you got a high scoring game in mind, almost 60 points.
Right.
It could end up being kind of a defensive struggle too.
Could be.
So, if it's in the 40s and there's not that much scoring, or I should say, upper 40s,
right,
to low 50s. If it's a 50-point game, there might not be that much scoring, or as much scoring, obviously, and then there might not be as many cuts to Taylor because they're definitely gonna. I don't know. I guess it depends on how Kelsey does. Every time he catches the ball, they'll show her. More than anything.
Every time they show him, they're going to show her. So he's never touched the ball.
Yeah. All right. You know what we didn't take a poll about is will there be the marriage proposal? Which is the. I didn't even think of making a bet about that.
I say no. Harry, if you're still watching, please comment in and let us know what your choice is on that one. Will there be a marriage proposal?
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's an interesting conspiracy theory, but
it is.
I mean, all right. Well, let me ask you this: let's say that happens. Is that a grand romantic gesture, or is it corny as fuck?
It's corny as fuck because I that's not the place to do it. Enjoy your Super Bowl win or enjoy your Super Bowl loss or whatever it is.
Well, that's my other question. If they lose, he's not proposing.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that would happen because that would be really cringy.
Right.
If they lose the game.
I think
it's only going to happen if the Chiefs win. But
So
don't make it about you.
right.
Right? You've won, whether you win or lose, really. Maybe maybe it might happen. It's more likely to happen if they lose, because then he'll take some of the sting, but not for the other players. Like, how much are they going to hate Travis Kelce then?
Right.
Like, they lose the game, and then he
Eh.
proposes.
Right.
And they're like, "What a dick! Good for you. You're marrying Taylor Swift, you asshole.
Right.
You just lost the fucking Super Bowl." But if they win, like, don't make it about you.
Don't make it about you. Yeah.
You guys all got here together and all accomplished this. Yeah. So I don't think it'll happen.
I don't think it'll happen either. Harry, just let us know what your choice is. On the on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon the other night, he did his Super Bowl superlatives, and he put Travis Kelce up, and he says Travis Kelce was voted most likely to ask his teammates, "Hey, what do you get a billionaire for Valentine's Day?" So,
anything she wants.
anything she wants. That is true. So now I forget what we talked about this the other night, but there's been these things out. Obviously, you've heard Taylor Swift's favorite number is 13, right?
Sure.
Okay, so there's this conspiracy going on here, right? Or at least Swifties happy about this, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it's Super Bowl 58. 5 + 8 is 13.
Oh God, yeah.
The Chiefs are playing the 49ers. 4 + 9 is 13.
Yeah.
Okay. What you call it? Her flight back from Tokyo is 13 hours. There's there's a couple others. I don't remember all of them, but then they threw one other thing in there. Her favorite number is 13. All right.
Right.
There's 100 yards on the football field. What's 100 minus 13?
Travis
Kelce's number, 87. Right. Yeah. So I'm like, enough, please just stop.
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't hate Taylor Swift. Kudos to her for doing her thing. People like her. She's got her fan base, huge fan base. And that's fine. Seriously, kudos to her. Kudos to both of them for being in love and having a relationship. And I really don't even care that they cut away as much as they do.
Yeah.
It's a little bit much, but whatever. I'm not paying really much attention to it. Clearly, if they cut away mid-play to Taylor Swift just to see her reaction of the play and not let us see the play, then I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I don't think that's happened yet.
But short of that, I don't care who they cut away to after the play's over. It is what it is. The thing that aggravates me the most is stop talking about it, because that's all you hear on every show you put on. They're talking about Taylor Swift.
Well, that's emblematic and symptomatic of the sports / news culture, right? Everyone wants clicks, and that's what everyone's talking about. So that's what we're going to talk about, even if it's ad nauseum.
Exactly.
As far as the NFL goes, and look, my only lament, if I could call it that, about all the cutaways to Taylor Swift is that they could be cutting away to somebody else. Like, what are we missing?
Right.
If you're always putting the camera, like that's typical, they always seem to find some fan who epitomizes what all the fans are thinking at that moment, or whatever it is, and like you're kind of missing out on that because you're showing Taylor Swift. So, but it doesn't. I'm not mad about it or anything. I agree with you there. The other thing is the NFL. There's a reason that they're number one. There's a number of reasons that they're number one, the number one sport and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But one of those main reasons is they're very good at making themselves big, right? Football is a year-round event now, between training camp and the season and the postseason and the draft and the combine, right? There's always something going on with football. They're always coming up with new ways to bring in more fans. Can't watch football on Sunday? Well, you can watch it on Monday, and you can watch it on Thursday. And, when the playoffs come around, we'll show it all weekend. they find ways to bring in viewers to make themselves accessible.
Right.
And Taylor Swift is just another avenue to do that. They don't care about her or the story. They just want the numbers.
Yep.
If you want to say it's kind of selling out to get them, okay, fine, you could say that. But that's what the NFL does. Find ways to get more eyes on the game, and that's why they're the biggest game in town.
You're right.
This is just another example of that. Yeah, I don't care how many times they cut to her, whatever.
Exactly.
But I do wonder, like, what are you missing?
Right.
You know,
What's
what are you
missing on
missing?
the? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Why aren't you showing the fans that paid, $5,000 for those tickets, and now their team is getting blown out or whatever?
Right.
That's what I want to see. Misery.
Right. I want to look at that. The human element, if you will. Anyway,
Exactly.
Jess texted me. I was at a beer fest last night. We had a beer fest to go to up in Jersey City and Liberty Science Center. Very good beer fest. Very, very well run. Very nice.
Was it about the science of beer making, or
it was? No, it was actually. It was
they had a big room.
No. They actually throughout the entire museum they had beer stands. So it was all 4 floors. It's really cool.
Cool.
This is the second year they
did
it.
Actually.
And there's a lot of windows that you get to, and you look out because you're right where you are in Jersey City. You're looking out of the skyline. It's awesome. It's really cool. But in any event, went over to there's a German beer hall around the corner from there. We finished up at 11. Went over there for a bite to eat and a couple beers, and then came home. Yeah, after beer fest had post game.
After beer fest,
we post gamed the. Anyway, so we're sitting there, and Jess had texted me a push notification that she got on her phone. Now, mind you, this was Fox Sports, so she has a Fox Sports app, right? So right. Fox Sports pushed this push notification through on her. Everybody has the app, right? Onto their phones last night. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. Tracking Taylor Swift's, I guess it was journey. The pop star, this is 11:59 p.m. yesterday. The pop star is on her way from Tokyo to Las Vegas to watch Travis Kelce in the Super Bowl. Keep an eye on her progress. You could actually click it. So it was a tracker of her flight, like Nora, a Santa tracker, like Nora had Santa tracker. Like,
yeah.
Nice. Are you kidding me, Fox Sports? Are you kidding me?
No, but this you don't understand. This is going to get people to click and to tune in. And for them, for Fox Sports, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and
it's not about the news. It's not about the story. It's about being first, and it's about clicks and eyeballs.
I suppose it's genius because when you come right down to it, when you put it that way, everybody that is in love with this whole thing is going to click it, right?
Yeah.
Everybody that can't stand this is going to click it.
Yeah, they're going to click it to see if the plane goes down in the ocean.
Or just click it just to see, are you kidding me? I got to see what the hell they're doing. This is stupid. Click, so.
Yeah. Well, listen, this is how much the mania has gripped, and not just the sports world, right?
Sure.
You've got members of the Republican Party in Congress bitching and moaning about Taylor Swift taking a private plane from Tokyo and the carbon footprint, and using fuel and polluting it. You've got Republicans in Congress caring about the environment because Taylor Swift is making a special flight from Tokyo. That's how big this is. The guys who don't care at all, let the corporations do whatever they want, but they're gonna, get upset because Taylor Swift is making an extra flight.
Oh my God!
I mean, it's honestly, when I just think about what people in other countries look at this sort of thing in the United States,
right,
and just I don't know if they laugh, if they shake their heads, they go, "Those poor idiots over there." This is the sort of thing that just makes us look insane that this is an issue, that more than one person, like if it was one guy on a empty milk crate on the street corner yelling about it,
right,
okay, fine, but it's members of our federal government, and millions of people in the population of the country, either screaming in support or completely up in arms over something that it's a football game and a pop star.
Right.
Nutty. That's what
100%.
makes America great.
Exactly. All right. Couple of quick random Super Bowl trivia questions for you.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, Super Bowl, the Super Bowl trophy. Obviously, it is the.
Is this the question?
Yeah, well, no, obviously you know it. I'm just saying. That's
The Lance Hendrickson.
the Lance Hendrickson trophy, right? Exactly. Lombardi Trophy. How much does the Lombardi Trophy weigh?
Oh, that's the one with the guy going like this, right?
Yeah, that's the Joe Theismann Award. No. Scott should take the T off.
How much does the Lombardi Trophy weigh?
Yeah.
I'll say
You're remembering like what it was like to hold it, like the last time you had it.
Well, that was the Stanley Cup. I'm trying to think how they would compare.
Yeah.
Well, they don't really. I'll say 31 pounds.
Oh, all right. I like that. 7 pounds.
That's it?
That's it.
How can it be that light?
7. It's hollow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And it's also made with
the bones of birds.
Right, exactly.
That are hollow.
Pretty sure it's silver. Silver weighs less
sparrow
than
bone.
iron. Right, yeah. Sparrow bones. Who makes the Lombardi Trophy?
Justin's.
Justin's.
Your place for Super Bowl trophies and class rings. Go, Justin's.
Exactly. I love it. That's an open right there. 58. Which we got. No, try once again.
Who makes a trophy? I honestly have no idea. Who makes a trophy? I don't have a trophy that I can look on the bottom. I don't know. American Trophy Company.
Well, it's made with
LLC.
Silver. It's made with silver, and I put it in a blue box. Who would you say would make it?
Oh, is it Tiffany's?
It's Tiffany. Tiffany makes it.
All right, there we go.
What two cities have hosted the most Super Bowl games?
I'll say Orlando or Miami.
Miami's one. Very good.
Pasadena.
No.
Where do they always play the Super Bowl? I don't know. Louisiana.
All right. Where in Louisiana?
Nolens.
There you go. Miami and New Orleans. Very good.
All
right. Who won the Super Bowl the year of the infamous wardrobe malfunction when we all got to see Janet Jackson's nipple?
Oh. I wonder if that was a psyop, like the Taylor Swift proposal thing is.
I blame Justin Timberlake. He's the one that ripped it off.
I don't know. The Rams?
No.
I have no idea. You're talking about history and years. And
all right. I'll ask you like this then. I'll rephrase it. Because of the time frame that happened, what team do you think would be most likely the one that won the Super Bowl that year? Kind of leading you to the answer.
You're assuming that I know what year that was.
It was 2004.
2004.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Tampa Bay?
No, that was 2003 they won.
Oh. No, I give up.
Who's your favorite? Who's your least favorite team in the AFC East?
Oh yeah, okay, right. So the Pats.
The Pats, right? Um,
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
whatchamacallit? Who are the? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that have only won one Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Can you name them?
Well, the Jets.
Jets. What do you think?
Vikings.
Vikings have not won any Super Bowls. They were in 4, won none. In fact, little trivia for you, side trivia during the question. The Vikings were in 4 Super Bowls. Didn't win one
Right.
of them. Actually, never held a lead in any of the 4 they were in.
Oh, interesting. Oh, all right. All right. So the Saints, right? They only have one, right?
Saints only had one. Very good.
So the Jets, the Saints. How many teams? 5?
5, yep. The other 3, like the Saints were only in the one Super Bowl they won. The Jets were only in the one Super Bowl they won. The other teams, one of the teams was in 2 Super Bowls, but only won one of them. Actually, 2 of them were in 2 Super Bowls, but only won one. The other team was in 4 Super Bowls, but only won one of them.
Well, that just
narrowing it down for you.
No, not at all.
Well, I was being sarcastic. Want me to just tell you?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. The Bears were in 2 Super Bowls. They only won one.
How did the Bears only win one Super Bowl? Weren't they good at one time?
They were fantastic in 1985. They won the Super Bowl in 86. But unfortunately, there was a powerhouse a year later that went 14-2.
Yeah, I guess they're really in the Super Bowl era. There wasn't that much time in the Super Bowl era, so they were not good in the 70s. Then
they were all right in the later 70s, obviously, when Walter Payton started playing. But they built their way up through into the 80s. 85, they were shining. They went 15-1, but the Giants went 14-2 the year after. And the Giants and the 49ers and the Rams were kind of always in their way for the next like 6-7 years.
Right.
So Giants actually, they were in the playoffs. Giants beat them in the divisional round when the Giants went to the Super Bowl 25 4 years after 21 or 5 years after the Bears won. Anyway, Seahawks were actually, I take that back. The Seahawks were in 3 Super Bowls and won one. Seahawks were in the Super Bowl in 05, I think. Yeah, 05 ish, something like that. And they lost to Pittsburgh. They were back-to-back Super Bowls. They beat Denver and then almost beat the Patriots, but Pete Carroll, fell asleep at the wheel there.
Yep.
And then the Eagles were in 4 Super Bowls. They lost to the Raiders in 81. They lost to,
I was gonna say the Eagles.
Yeah, they lost to the Raiders in 81. They lost to the Patriots in 02, 05, 04, somewhere in there. They beat the Patriots a few years back in 2018.
Oh, yeah.
And then they lost last year to the Chiefs.
They lost last year.
And one more question. What city hosted the coldest Super Bowl ever? This is a hard one. Unless you know it, you're never going to get it.
I don't know. Dallas?
Oh, close. Yeah, there you go.
Houston?
Keep coming a little more east.
New Orleans?
New Orleans. Yep.
Really?
New Orleans hosted the coldest Super Bowl ever. Even Super Bowls that were in Minnesota or Detroit, or even the one that was in
they were in Indy too, right?
And Indy, yeah.
One in Indianapolis. That was a cold one, I remember.
That was cold. That was when the Giants beat the Pets the second time they were in Indianapolis. There might have been another one there, but I think that was the main one. I think it was the last one. Was it been? I don't know. I
think the last one.
Yeah. Anyway, cool. So,
what was the temperature that day?
You know what? That was just a question. It didn't say what it was. So let's find out.
That's interesting. Yeah, you would not guess New Orleans. I mean, now you could, now everywhere is hot and cold, and we're having, I got actually my guy I used to work for many, many years ago. He lives out in Arizona, and they had snow. And they had like 4 inches of snow or something, and
Right.
so you get all these things that go on, and then you have chilly places that are at 62 degrees in January when they should be about 10.
Exactly. 39 degrees.
39.
It was Super Bowl. Excuse me. It was Super Bowl 6.
That was the coldest?
That was the coldest Super Bowl ever.
Wow. Oh, yeah, because they're usually in warm locations.
Right. 40. It was 46 in New Orleans for Super Bowl 9. It was 49. This is the order of temperatures.
Oh,
It
okay.
was 49 degrees for the MetLife Super Bowl 10 years ago. And then up from there. So there you go.
All right. There you go. New Orleans.
New Orleans.
A rich history of Super Bowl trivia.
There you go. Gotta love it. All right. So do you have any parting shots for this year's Super Bowl? Any predictions that other than we've talked about?
No, not really. Not
Um,
really.
Who do you actually, other than what you picked, who do you want to win the game?
I think Baltimore.
You want Baltimore?
Oh
Colts.
no.
Colts.
I haven't yet succumbed to the sort of the Chiefs backlash,
Right.
where people who love the Chiefs maybe a couple of years ago, now they're sick of the Chiefs, and
Right.
Great, 11 straight years of the AFC champion. It becomes boring after a while.
Right.
But there's also Patriots haters who don't particularly love the Chiefs, but they want to see somebody be as good, maybe better than the Patriots and Brady. They might hate the Brady.
Right.
And they go, well, I don't know if there's anyone else besides Mahomes who's going to, have a chance at being the GOAT, right?
Right. Right.
So you have that go, but I don't feel that backlash against them. It's Kansas City, and they have a rich history, and I like Andy Reid. You can go back to whatever
Philly.
Hank Stram and all.
Oh, Chiefs.
Yeah.
Okay. They're
Yeah,
talking
the
about Andy Reid, but yeah. Sure.
But the 49ers, they're a real dual-edged sword for me because of the Cowboys, obviously.
Right.
So I hate them because of that. But they were also something of a foil for the Giants. And me being brought up the way I was, you were not allowed to root for two teams from the same area, the same city or whatever, or the
Right.
same state.
Mhm.
So being a Jet fan, I was obligated. This is my dad's thing. Being a Jet fan, I was obligated to hate the New York Football Giants.
Right.
And so I love the 49ers for some of that.
Right.
And I also picked them to win so that I don't lose to the coin. But I think I probably would have picked the Chiefs. I'm conflicted. So who do I really want to win? I guess Mahomes.
Yeah.
Than the Chiefs. I'd rather see him be better than Brady. I have to hate Brady more
Gotcha.
than. But the flip side is it's not like the Jets were always knocking on the door, and it was just the damn Patriots that kept them out again. You know what I mean?
That's true too.
They didn't lose, 3 AFC championship games to the Patriots or anything like that.
Right.
That's just the natural, division hatred. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I guess I'd rather see Mahomes at least, get another win and continue on his road to ultimate goatness. I guess I'd rather see that than, San Francisco.
There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Fair
So
enough.
I'll go with the Chiefs. Yeah.
I'll actually, I My reasons are threefold. I'm going to take. I want to see the 49ers win today, and I'll tell you why. One of them self-serving, but well, they're all like self-serving because they're my reasons, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
But in the first place, I fit the criteria of what you said before. I'm kind of over the Chiefs. I don't hate the Chiefs. I like Andy Reid. I like Patrick Mahomes. I like the team. I like Travis Kelce. I do like the team. But you know what? I didn't like.
Can we see somebody else, please?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So there's that. Okay.
Dynasties suck if you're not a fan of the team that's the winner.
Right.
That's
number one. Number two, I want to see Brock Purdy win. I want to see somebody that was the last pick in the draft, almost an afterthought, almost, was one pick away from going undrafted.
Right.
2 years later is the offense is, or he won something the other night. He's not the offensive player of the year was Chris McCaffrey, but he's part and parcel of that. He actually had more passing yards than the MVP.
Right.
Okay.
Well, yeah, he won the Cam Newton 10th best player on the team award.
The 10th best player of the team award, right?
Yeah.
But to see somebody do that, right? I'd like to see that.
So that's a good story to see the last guy drafted maybe win a Super Bowl.
2 years
better story than Mahomes, who we know is great,
right?
Winning another one,
right? So that's number two, and then my number three is that's the one I monikered as the most self-serving. Okay, it's right now there's 32 teams in the NFL. Right now, the Giants are in the top 6 of most Super Bowl winningest teams ever, right? The Patriots and the Steelers. The Patriots and the Steelers both have 6 wins. The 49ers and the Cowboys both have 5 wins. The Packers and the Giants both have 4 wins. Everybody else has 3 or less. Okay? If the Chiefs win, the Giants are now in the top 7 teams, not the top 6. Yeah. Okay? So the Chiefs join the Giants and the Packers at 4 wins. Okay? If the 49ers win, the 49ers are already ahead of the Giants. They go from 5 wins to 6 wins. So there you go.
The Giants' potential maintaining of the 6th
spot. Well, sharing of the 5th spot, if you will.
Sharing of the 5th spot for all-time Super Bowl.
And I guess you could say that they're still in the sharing of the 5th spot, right? But what are you going to do?
That is deep.
I thought so. I thought you'd like that.
Well, then they'd be tied with another team.
Exactly. So, but you know what?
Quite frankly, the way things are going, they will most likely be passed by that said other team.
Yeah, you know what? To be quite honest with you,
maybe not at the end when football ends, as when society ends and football ends, the Giants might be back. Tied for that number 5.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we don't know. The Giants could beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl 2 years from now.
The very last Super Bowl, about
highly doubtful, but it could be, right? Yeah.
The Giants beat the Chiefs and go ahead.
Are you predicting an end to the Super Bowl or society in 30 years?
Yeah, when society ends and football ends. That last Super Bowl before that happens, the nuclear holocaust happens. March 3rd, just a couple of weeks after the Super Bowl. And the Giants have beaten the Chiefs, and they lead the contest 9-8. That's in 41 years from now.
41 years you're picking. Okay. So
yeah. So you're going to get a couple more.
All right. So we're in our 90s.
You're going to get 5 more Super Bowl wins in the next 40 years.
Gotcha.
And you won't be number 1, but you'll be ahead of the Chiefs.
Be ahead of the Chiefs. All right, fair enough.
But that's only if the Chiefs lose today.
But you're right, though. I mean, if the Chiefs win today, right, and they get their 4th, if Andy Reid stays coaching and this team stays together, and the nucleus of that, and it continues the way it's going, I mean, within the next 3 or 4 years, the Chiefs could be tied with the Patriots and the Steelers for 6.
Yeah, they're always going to be in it. They're always going to be in it.
So. Who knows? But look, in the grand scheme of things, honestly, it really doesn't matter to me which team wins. I just want to watch a good game, see a couple of funny commercials, drink some good beer, have some good food, have a couple laughs, and call it a day. That kind of.
All right, so last prediction, because we got to wrap this up.
Right.
The game's on in 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours, and we got to be over there in a half an hour. So yeah.
There you go. So will this be a good game or not?
I
don't mean last second field goal attempt.
No.
Will it be competitive, or is it going to be a blowout?
I think it's going to be competitive, based on both offenses, and the possibility of both, even with the possibility of both defenses doing decently. I think that it's going to, like I said, I think when I pick 59 points, how can it not be an interesting game if they score 59 points, right? So I think that, I think it'll be an interesting game. I don't think, necessarily it's not. Hey, I said it's not going to come down to the last play, right? Because I said the last play would be a kneel.
Right. So yeah, but listen, you could have a really great 24-17 game,
Oh, sure.
Is
Is
it going to be good? I think is it going to, I guess, is it going to be close? Is it going to be around a touchdown or less, or will it be, like a 17-point blowout?
I think it's going to be around a touchdown or less. I think it's going to be a 3-point game. Honestly, either way, I think it's going to be, even if I'm wrong with the score or anything like that, I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way, one way or the other. But I think it's going to be a good game. It might not be the, best thing since sliced bread or the greatest game of all time in the Super Bowl. We all know the top 3 of those, right? And 3 of the Giants' 4 Super Bowl wins.
The Giants winning, and then I think the Jets are number 4 on the list.
The Jets are number 4 on the list, yeah. So anyway, but whatchamacallit? And hey, Super Bowl one. The first Super Bowl the Giants were in, Super Bowl 21. That was a great game for me, but it was a blowout. It was 39-20. And Denver really, the last touchdown was even in garbage time. So it was like a 39-13 win, so but that's just, a Giant fan can appreciate that as a good game. Denver fans or anybody else that doesn't really have a fan of two teams.
Yeah, like you can't really say right. Like you can't say that was I would say that was a good win if you're a Giant fan.
Right.
But there's really no one, if you're being honest, that wasn't a very good game.
Right.
It was just, because it was just
a good game in the first half. It was a good game in the first half.
Right, but not the second.
Yeah. It was competitive in the first. I think it was a 1-point game at halftime.
Yeah.
And then the Giants just went nuts.
That's why they played 2 halves.
That's why they play both halves. All right.
Yeah, I'm worried it's going to be. I think it's going to be good. I'm worried it's going to be a blowout. I'm worried it's going to. I don't know which way, but it could. I could see it getting away from either team. But both of these teams, Kansas City has, I think, the greater capacity for that comeback. Give them the 13 seconds and they can get down the field and kick the field goal. But
fair enough. All right. Well, there you go. Those are our picks for today.
See, all of
that.
20 minutes.
We could have
20-minute Super Bowl show.
We could have done a 20-minute Super Bowl show instead. We did an hour and 20-minute Super Bowl show. So anyway, all right. Well, thanks for joining us today. We're sorry that Harry could not be with us. He did come in a couple of times, but on that note, we'll wrap the show for today. I want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. I'm going to go through the whole thing. You know the drill. We're live with the video podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch every Wednesday night around 7:30. Every other Wednesday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And you can listen to our audio podcast on Spreaker, as well as pretty much anywhere you can find audio podcasts. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more feeds that we're on, and you'll never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the Super Bowl tonight. Hope you're look. Forget about your teams. Hope your box pools win. There you go.
Yeah,
because for the majority of you out there, that's what you're watching for tonight.
Yeah, the box and the halftime.
Exactly. So enjoy all of that, and we will talk to you a week from Wednesday. We're off this week. We'll talk to you a week from Wednesday. We think we're going to start. Pete, we were talking, putting on some reels of some quick informational, individual informational reels, just fun stuff. The weeks that we're off. And they'll go up on Instagram and Instagram Reels, and obviously we'll put them on. They'll be on Facebook page as well. So check them out. I think we'll start them this week. Obviously, this would be the week to start it because we could do a quick Super Bowl recap individually. Quick 20-second things, nothing long, nothing like a long podcast. Well, mine will be.
Yes, we've been getting a lot of requests for additional content.
Exactly, because our shows are
show short. 20 to 30 seconds at a time.
Exactly. So, anyway,
I'll be putting out 6 reels of 1 sentence each.
Hey, that could be a marketing play. Like look at it that way. Anyway,
so you'll have to tune in 6 separate days.
6 separate days just to find out what's going on.
To find the whole 20-second point.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, enjoy whatever you do wind up doing. And this is to you, Pete. And anybody else out there, just enjoy your Super Bowl party. Enjoy the Super Bowl. And we'll talk to you in a week and a half, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Bye, everybody. Oh, and if you want to watch the